drop day, aka we're going live, right? And makes me sad. It used to be a day that me and Minnie would look forward to, and we would be going hunting, and we'd be just having a good old time, trying to, make the most out of it. And we're not, we're not going hunting today. And the sad thing is, Minnie, when I hit him up and said, hey, it's drop day. I don't know what we'll find, but we'll figure what's going on. And his response was really simply, and this is what broke my heart. Is he's all, "What's the point, Dad? You know, when you have a child who is the reason you got into the hobby, and he doesn't want to go hunting anymore because the and look, I understand it's life. My son needs to understand that people, where there's money to be made, the adults, not children, adults are gonna make the most out of what they can, and myself included. When I first got into the hobby, it was about catching memories, and when I saw how much money that could be made, I was like, you know what, this might be something to look into, to be able to, secure a better future for my kids. And we did the vending thing, and then I realized how became he became obsessed with money, and I had to take a moment and stop, and we reset. We took a step back, and I told him, like, it isn't about the money, it's about the memories, and it's about making connections with people. And it's been hard. I still catch packs in the wild, and I always want my son to have the best memories and live this best life. But today I was really upset when when not even upset, I was just sad for him, because, like, who doesn't want to, the thrill of the hunt? Let's go hunting. And his advice was, "What's the point, Dad? Like, what have we done in this hobby where a 11-year-old who's way smarter than me tells me, Dad, why am I gonna go, you know?" And I have friends of mine that have been out since last night, and they're like, "Yeah, I got here at 10 o'clock, and there was already people in line." And I hurt my back, 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago now, and you know, I'm dealing with a broken foot, and I struggle, man. I struggle as a dad. If you, hey Robert, what's going on? Uh, if you're a dad in the hobby or a parent in the hobby, and you want your kids to have the best life possible, you want to do drops, and you end up starting a collection of binders, and you're into collections and stuff like that, and then the person that you started this hobby with is disappointed. I have packs that, when I'm out in the wild, I'll buy packs, and I'll hold them, and we can do things. And when he, like last night, I said, hey, it may not be pitch black, but I got two Chaos Rising random card get dropped. And I let him down. And the funny thing is, it's like I have no control over people's behavior. The only control I have is making sure that my son uh, has a good role model, is loved and understands. Like, the hardest thing about drop days are when product hits the shelves, is the look of disappointment on his face when he can't even get a pack. Let's not even talk about ETBs or box sets. And I have friends all over the United States, thank God. And when they come across anything, I always tell them the answer is yes. And I went for, if you look at the history of our channel, it was like we were posting open packs videos every day, and then we were doing trade shows, and we were, I tried every angle to, thank you, Manda Manchin, I appreciate that. Uh, you try every angle to get your to make sure that you're, I don't know if you're investing in success and building something for your kids. I'm a collector by nature, and I grew up, you know I couldn't afford, my parents, I grew up on welfare and Section 8, and I didn't understand we were poor until I got older. But I I did the opposite. Hey, what's going on, Ice? I did the opposite. I gave my kids everything I could, and when we started doing Pokemon, I got myself in a big financial hole. Maxed out a bunch of credit cards. I was trying to flip, and I was trying to build a collection for my son, and then and we kind of got in right before it got super crazy, and now it's like if you're not camping out for 2 3 days in advance, you're not getting ETBs or premium collections or anything like that. And I wanted to come on here just because it made me really, really sad. Like, hey, let's go and get a couple packs. And he's like, nah, Dad, what's the point? Like, where are we as a hobby or as a society? And look, I understand there's Pokemon the TCG, there's Pokemon, the game, there's Pokemon the cars, there's Pokemon the hobby, there's Pokemon the business. But where are we as a society when, like, think about it. Pokemon, like my generation, Pokemon, there wasn't really Pokemon. When I was a kid, it was Garbage Pail Kids. And even at the height of the Garbage Pail Kids, when everybody was collecting and we're taking them to school, you were always able to get packs off your local ice cream truck or your local liquor market or anything like that. You can't do that nowadays. Like, you literally have big box retailers who have someone's whole job is to sit by this inventory and allow a person 1 or 2 packs. And then you got people that make it a mission to like trick these people. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. And you make it a mission to trick people into, you know, getting you more, doing backroom deals, and like, and then I went to GameStop yesterday, right? I said, "Hey, are you guys, doing the drop tonight?" They're like, "Yeah." And I said, "Just out of curiosity, how much are your ETBs going for?" $100 out the gate. $100. They probably get them for 30, $40, if that, from Pokemon Center. And I remember when GameStop was about to go close the doors because there's the dying business model, and then they started getting Pokemon, and then now I don't know, guys. I don't understand where we are as a society that we have this much madness or this much craziness, and where big businesses are literally taking over and out. They're getting all the supplies and they're marking it up to the point where the common collector, dad, like, I'm a single father. I have 2 kids, my college student and my son, and like, realistically, I can't afford this hobby if I can't get it at market. And yeah, it's cool to, I like doing master sets. I like collecting. I like putting together, uh, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to relive my childhood through my son and give him everything I wished I could have had. But the reality is, I'm not really solving the problem. I feel like I'm making a bigger problem because I'm trying to. This is Hope. She's my emotional support animal. Say hi, Hopi. She's the Bernie Doodle. And she probably feels my anxiety. That's why she's coming over here giving me love. It's like you have so much. I don't know, guys. I don't know, and it makes me really sad because I honestly feel like I'm letting him down because we can't find products. We can't find anything. It makes me sad. It makes me sad because I understand that's the way of the world. It's those who are willing to put in the work get the dividends. And it's not for the lack of trying. I always believe my a good buddy of mine that I met in this hobby. Hey, Jaden. Uh, he told me, him and his brother are super successful. They have one of the biggest streaming platforms. They're just awesome dudes. And he told me one time, I said, "Well, how do you get to where you're at?" And he's like, "Dude, when we first started, it wasn't like the way it is now. Like, these guys are doing, $250,000 deals." And he goes, "Oh, it's all about your personal relationships," and that stuck with me. And I'm doing the YouTube channel. I post at least one video a day. Some days I just don't have it in me. And some days I want to post more than that, but I don't want to saturate. I don't know, guys. Off the bed, Hope. Off the bed. Now, down. And I don't know. Are you guys having any luck finding product in your area? Am I just, am I not trying hard enough? You know, I have no luck online drops. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I really feel like I might be giving up. Like, it really broke my heart when he said, "What's the point, Dad?" I don't know, guys. I know this probably wasn't a great video. You thought I was gonna be like, "Yeah."